I'm just going to talk to you guys about the TC program and what we do that allows you guys to have a lot more free time, to hopefully drum up more business, do what you guys do best. So we partner with the leadership team at the Market Center. If you guys leverage our program, we take your executed paperwork and compliance off your plate. And our goal is to seamlessly take a transaction from listing to pending to close. And we'll work diligently with all the details so you don't have to. It allows you to get your time back and still offer an excellent customer experience for your clients. So what we do, we take accepted offers. So let's say for the buy side, you can send us all your buyer paperwork and your accepted offer, and we'll open a file. We'll contact your clients with a congratulations email, and we'll start a transaction for you. We'll reach out to the lender and open up the file with the title company of your choice. And we also review all the paperwork and let you know what's missing for compliance purposes with the office. We'll create an opportunity and take care of that portion and upload your documents and submit the file to the office. We also add in the transaction details and create the commissions tab for you. A lot of times, especially with teams, we'll double check. We'll have someone double check the commissions tab just to make sure that it looks good and everything's good to go. With pending files, we'll check in with the lender and title company throughout the process to monitor everything. And we'll monitor appraisals also. We check on the status to make sure that the transaction's on track and that nothing's going to hold up closing. We'll add contingency timelines to your calendar as a reminder for important dates. And we'll also send you a weekly email that lays out the transaction and any missing documents you may have. It's just kind of a nice reminder to have that, especially right now at spring market. So when you guys are super busy, you'll get that email every Wednesday around 11 a.m. telling you, hey, you know, either everything looks good or, hey, we're missing this, this, and this from this file. That way, when it's time to close, you aren't missing a bunch of paperwork. We also do client check-ins. We check in with your clients periodically throughout the process with helpful information. So once you get someone under contract, we'll send them an email with the next steps after an accepted offer. We remind clients to contact utility companies and to transfer their service and change their mailing address. We also, when everything is said and done, we can add your clients to a monthly neighborhood email from you through command, as well as any smart plans. Hi.
I'm so sorry.
You're fine.
Oh,
it's just on the TC process.
Yeah.
So how awesome we are.
It can help everyone.
And then, yeah, we can add smart plans to your people when everything is said and done. Some of the emails that go out help you collect reviews from your clients, and they allow you to stay in touch with them after closing. It just kind of sends you reminders every so often, like, hey, touch base with so-and-so. We also do like the home anniversaries. So it'll remind you come the 1-year anniversary of their purchase that, hey, you should reach out to them, wish them happy home anniversary, whatever. We've also started doing listings. I've been doing listings since I started. So listings to me are second nature. So I'm perfectly fine with helping with that. She enters them. I do the command portion.
Okay.
So what I do is, like, if you get a listing signed, you send me the paperwork, like your input form, your listing contract, agency, all your docs. I'll look through them and I'll do my compliance check, and I'll be like, hey, we're missing these documents, or hey, you know, sellers or closers, we're missing this, this, and this, your input's missing this and this. That way it's a little less work for like Cody and Linda having to review everything. But yeah, if you send me paperwork like that, we'll create a contact and opportunity in your command. We'll do our audit and upload the paperwork into command. We'll notify you like I said, of any missing documents, and then we'll submit the folder in command. And I also like to email Linda personally just to make sure nothing's missed, because you never know if there's going to be a glitch. So I just reach out personally and say, hey, I just submitted a listing for so-and-so, just wanted you to know. And then she'll get it going, and she'll usually touch base with the agent and say, okay, it's up and going, you know, do you want to proof it? Do you have anything to add? Yeah, and if your listing requires like a price adjustment or, you know, any addendums, amendments, whatever, I can easily load those to command and submit them.
Yes. What's like the normal timeline on this for you? So an agent gets the paperwork over to you, then does it just depend on the day or?
Well, it depends, like if I'm in the middle of a file or something like that, it'll have to wait till I'm done.
Yeah.
But otherwise, like I try and do things based on urgency.
Yeah.
So like the little things I might push off to get to my listings right away, and my under contracts needing to go to title and lender right away. Stuff like that. So I mean, it's definitely something, you know, I've had people email me, you know, 20 minutes before the cutoff for the office, like, hey, this kind of just happened, and you know, it is what it is. So I'll drop everything I'm doing and just be like, okay, let's do a quick audit. Let's get it up and going, and at least try and get it on before the office closes. So I mean,
Yeah.
I work with everybody. It just kind of, you know, situational.
Absolutely.
But yeah, anything your listing requires, I can upload that paperwork for you and submit it. If it's withheld or coming soon, we'll also submit those forms. And yeah, as soon as it goes under contract, or you need to, you know, I have a lot of people that'll temporarily do like a TNAS status or whatever. We can help you with that too, and coordinate it with the front desk. And everything we do, we CC the agent on our emails. So like, let's say you have a listing going on and I email Linda, you'll always be CC'd. Any contact with clients, lender, title, you're always CC'd on those emails. So you're never left out of the loop. It's always, you get a lot of emails, sorry.
Better than none.
Yes. And then for listing transactions, basically, yeah, we just review your documents. We let you know of anything missing. We upload all your forms. We help with status changes, email community. We also reach out to co-op agents and be like, hey, I'm so-and-so's TC. Looking forward to working with you. Let me know if you need anything. And then with clients, we basically do a, hey, congratulations. Here's your next steps. Here's a copy of the accepted purchase agreement. And then we also touch base 3, 2, and 1 weeks before closing. And 3 weeks is just, hey, how's it going? Do you have any questions? And then 2 and 1, it's, hey, don't forget to change your utilities. Remember, if it's a listing, anything, this, and this that was agreed upon needs to stay with the house, stuff like that. Just little helpful reminders to kind of take stuff off your guys' plates. We do stay in touch with lender and title throughout the transaction. We also track earnest money. I have access to the trust funds for the brokerage, so I can get in there and download anybody's trust funds, which is nice to be able to have access to, so you guys don't have to constantly send the emails, you know, here you go, here you go. But it's still nice to know where we're at in the process. So those emails do help from you guys. We submit all additional documents throughout, like inspection amendments, extensions, whatever. Yeah, and just continue communication throughout the entire process, especially for like the appraisal. And I feel a lot of this is redundant because it's the same, whether it's a buyer or seller, when it comes to like appraisal, stuff like that. We just try and help keep you guys on track, just to make sure that, you know, let's say you have a commitment letter that you need by a certain day. Well, that's one thing I feel we kind of annoy lenders with is, hey, do you have that commitment letter ready? Because we need it. I also work with the front desk, you know, requesting status changes from active to pending to sold. I do commissions tabs. We do have a closing information sheet that I know the Woodbury office utilizes. We don't so much down here. But yeah,
Is this part also in that $50 charge?
the listing portion, and I think they have it on here somewhere, but the listing portion itself is a $50 add-on. It's not something that goes through your monthly KW invoice. It's something that the agents pay the $50. And that's for us to go through all your listing paperwork, to audit it, put it in command, make sure the front desk gets the listing on. But if you have a listing and it goes under contract, but you did the listing yourself, there's no charge. And then we finish out the process for you. So it's just to initially get that listing on the MLS and going is what costs the $50.
Okay.
And yeah, we have the option to add those dates to people's calendars, like your inspection due date, when the appraisals due, when it's happening, stuff like that. So that throughout the process, if you're not good with your calendar, just simple reminders. And for a buyer transaction, it's pretty much the same. We review the purchase agreement documents for missing and incomplete items. We let you guys know what's missing. We go ahead and upload all those forms into command. Once again, we touch base with the co-op agent. We can send emails to clients. And if need be, I do have some agents that utilize us for actually sending that trust funds link to their clients. So we do have access to do that. So if you have a buyer client that wants to submit using trust funds, you just have to let me know and I can do that for you. It's just been kind of a little hiccup lately. I notice a lot of them go to the spam folder of people's clients.
Trust funds?
Yes, especially if they have a Gmail account. It tends to go to their spam folder. So have to do it multiple times, but they're getting it. But yeah, basically everything is the same. We do touch base with you guys 2 days before the end of the inspection period to say, hey, just a reminder, please send, any amendments that apply. If there is any, kind of just gives you guys a heads up, especially if you're busy, like, oh, geez, my inspection's up in 2 days. I better get going on this. And then we also submit any additional documents throughout the transaction. We still communicate with lender and title, especially to make sure that the appraisal status is completed in a timely manner. We do the commissions tab and same 3-2-1 with your clients, just to touch base and give them friendly reminders. Usually a couple weeks before closing, I do go through files to double check that everything's compliant with the office. Especially if, let's say, I missed a box on the input form that's needed and it kicked back. I'll be like, hey, you're missing this. Please update when you have a chance, or you can always let me know what it is and I can just quick mark the box and re-upload it. It takes me like 2 seconds. We also send out that weekly email letting you know if there's any missing documents, or if your file is compliant. And then at the end, we add in clients' new addresses and their home anniversary, along with any smart plans that an agent wants to use.
You might be able to drag that on.
Well, I'm like, I
that.
have no mouses that like,
Oh, yeah, I see that.
I can see it highlighting things, but like,
yeah.
I don't have a pointer. So like, I can't move it because I don't want to mess it up.
I like it there.
Right? It's right in the middle of the screen. So in order, when you guys get a file under contract, you're going to want to submit the file to us if you choose to use us. Just make sure to please include the fully executed copies of your pre-approval proof of funds, your purchase agreement, any addendums, amendments, your arbitration, seller's disclosures. If you have well and septic, we need all those disclosures. And if it's a buyer file, we need your agency, buyer rep, your KW disclosures, and your compensation form. And it's helpful too, if you don't have your client in command, to have the client's contact information on your buyer rep docs, because that's 9 times out of 10 where I pull their information from, especially for lender and title. Well, lender usually has them, but for title. So it's helpful to have contact information on your buyer docs. And other than that, I mean, we have a lot of people that strictly use us for command. And we have some that we do the whole process for. It just depends on what works for your business. So
your extra fee, your extra services that you provide are $50.
A transaction.
a transaction,
Okay,
and it's
yeah.
just for listings, getting them on the MLS and submitted to the office and making sure everything gets up and going.
Mhm.
Otherwise, once it goes under contract, we, yeah, you don't have to pay anything. And, yeah, I pretty much customize based on person,
Mhm.
because everybody's different. Everybody does their business different, especially teams are totally different than a single agent. So it just depends on what you need help with, what you need taken off your plate that we can help you with. Like I said, there's some, they'll literally just scan me in an entire PA file and that's it. They don't say anything in the email other than they send it to me. And I'll do their command, I'll do their commissions tab. You know, there's some where they don't want client communication, but I communicate with lender and title. Everybody's different. Some people like to just go through the full process once to see how it goes and be like, okay, well, it's kind of redundant because I'm already doing this, this, and this, and I don't want to not do that. So is there a way for us to not do that, but do the rest? So I work with everybody. So I mean, if it's something that will help you guys out at the end of the day, that's what we're here for. That's my wheelhouse. You guys are people, I'm paperwork. I love paperwork.